Welcome back to part 2 of the Paranormal Investigation Guide for Neurodivergents. If you missed the first episode, please click the banner at the top to go watch that before watching this. This is a continuation of a list that I made after a paranormal investigation I went on back in April. I investigated the Villisca Axe murder house with some of my friends, and as a late diagnosed autistic person with ADHD, I realized that there were certain things I was going to have to be prepared for before the investigation. So I made a list, and I've added to it a little bit here and there over the last few months. And this is the last 7 points that I made. Again, this is not a comprehensive list. These are just things that I've noticed that would help me and may also help you as a neurodivergent person. Point 1. Don't rush yourself. Give yourself as much time as you need to prepare the day before the investigation and to recover the day after. I don't know about you, but I find traveling incredibly draining. It doesn't matter if I'm driving or flying, the whole thing is just very exhausting. Unless I can just sleep the whole time, then that's better. But it's still kind of exhausting. So the day before a big paranormal investigation, especially one that you're doing that's overnight, which that's going to be exhausting in and of itself, make sure that you give yourself plenty of time to prepare, whether that's mentally, physically, whatever it is you need, that is your time. And then the day after, give yourself time to recover. Give yourself time to rest and eat well and hydrate so that you're not feeling rushed either the day before or the day after. And that kind of flows into my second point, which is get as much sleep as possible the day before. The day before an investigation, especially an overnight investigation, you want to get as much sleep as you possibly can. Think of it as switching from day shift to night shift. If you're working a job where you're normally working during the day and you're having to switch to night shift, you don't stay up all day and then expect to stay up all night during your first night shift, right? No, you try to get as much sleep as possible the day before. Treat this paranormal investigation the same way. Make sure you are dedicating enough time the day before the investigation to get as much sleep as you possibly can. One thing that I found that helps me is a special eye mask that I purchased. I think I got it off of Amazon. I'll pop it up here when I find the link. But it is a special eye mask that not only does a really good job of blocking out the light, but it also has built-in headphones. And it is a Bluetooth headphone, so you can connect it to your iPad, iPhone, whatever, and listen to music, white noise, podcasts, whatever it is that helps you fall asleep. This was very, very helpful during my last overnight investigation. Point 3. Have some place away from the investigation that you can step away to give yourself time to decompress and recover if things start to get overstimulating. At the Villisca Axe murder house, we were very, very fortunate that there is a separate barn away from the house that had a little break room area. They had the possibility for cots in one area that we could have taken naps if we wanted to. We didn't opt for that. And they also had a restroom there. This was great because anytime any of us started to get overstimulated, a little, freaked out about anything that was happening during the investigation, we could step away to the barn for a little while, use the restroom, get some snacks, get some water, and just take a moment to decompress. This was fantastic, and we were very, very fortunate in that regard. But not every paranormal investigation venue is going to have that option. So if they don't have a designated space to step away to, you can create your own. In some cases, there might be a separate building. In some cases, that may just mean stepping outside, maybe onto a porch or a driveway or what have you. And it could also be a car. If you really feel like you need to get away from the investigation for a while, just calm down, collect your thoughts, play with your STEM toys, whatever it is you need to help calm down. Just make sure that you have a space away from the investigation where you can go and not feel overstimulated while you're there. Number 4, bring something to sit on. Investigations can be done at a lot of different places, and in some cases that means you don't actually have a chair to sit on. Sometimes it means sitting on hard and cold floors. And for some of us who are neurodivergent, we also have comorbidities that could affect our muscles or, our skeletal system. And sitting on the hard ground is not good for us. So bring something to sit on, whether it is some type of mat or a folding chair, something like that, that can help a lot. If you're bringing a blanket can also be used as a self-soothing item as well. And it can also help keep you warm if you're investigating someplace that's cold. And my next point is bring a mask. Sometimes we are sensitive to certain smells, or if we're in a room that has a particular scent, we could find it overstimulating. So bringing a mask could really help with that. And honestly, given some of the places that people do investigations at, it's probably a good idea for your health too, because you never know when there's mold or other things. So having a mask is a really good idea. I discovered that I needed a mask for certain situations because of my hairdresser, oddly enough. Right after the pandemic shut down, as things were starting to reopen again, I was starting to mask at my hairdressers because I felt like that would be good for her safety and for mine. And I noticed that after my appointments, I wasn't nearly as overstimulated as I had been before. Didn't really put two and two together until several years later. I forgot to bring a mask, and I realized that all the different scents from chemicals and shampoos and conditioners and all that kind of stuff at the hairdressers was really overstimulating. So bring a mask. Even if you don't end up needing it, maybe one of your teammates might. If you're going on an overnight investigation, obviously you're gonna need snacks and drinks, right? And I know it might be tempting to bring nothing but caffeinated beverages for an overnight investigation, but make sure you also bring water with you. I don't know what it is about these longer investigations, but I find them incredibly draining. And I've noticed that if I don't drink plenty of water while I'm also doing the investigation, the next day I feel even more drained than usual. So make sure that you're also bringing water. Yes, you can bring your sodas and your Monster energy drinks or whatever you need, but make sure you're also bringing water. And with the snacks that you're bringing, it's not a bad idea to include some of your safe foods with that. I know you're going to want to bring snacks that you can share with everybody, and that's great. Definitely bring some stuff that you can share, but also make sure that you have plenty of things that make you feel better, stuff that helps you self-soothe. And my last point is bring your meds. I know we all like to think, no, I'll be fine. It's okay if I only miss a day or two, or this is emergency medication and I'm not gonna need it. It's fine. No, seriously, bring it. I have emergency anxiety meds that I only need every once in a while. And I really should have brought them with me on my Iowa trip. Something happened on the way up there that really threw me off, and I really should have had those meds. I paid for that during the trip and afterwards. So bring your medication, bring your daily medication, bring your emergency medication. If you use an EpiPen, bring your EpiPen. Even if you don't think you'll need it, bring it. It's always best to be safe. So those are the last 7 ideas that I came up with. Again, this is not a comprehensive list. If this helped you in any way, or if this made you think of some things that should be added to the list, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your feedback. Also, if you have heard dogs in the background at all during this video, I am pet sitting for 2 different fosters. I volunteer with Renegade Paws Rescue, and there are 2 additional dogs in this house on top of the 1 dog that I already have. There's a lot of dogs right now. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope that you will stick around for more in the future. This is not what my channel is going to be about entirely. I'm still going to go back to making content about Savannah and spooky Savannah, but I just thought this was a good conversation starter, and I thought that the neurodivergent community needed a resource, especially for those of us who do enjoy paranormal investigation. So y'all have a great day, and I hope to see y'all next time.